Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the very first today's 10-minute talks with Real Talk Jay. That's me. I'm Real Talk Jay. Thanks for watching. Welcome to the channel. Hey, go ahead and subscribe and click that bell and hit a like button and share this video with your friends. Would love to be able to talk to you more and more. And of course, I'll take any feedback you can give me. That would be awesome. So, we've all been through some stuff. This last few years, it has been a crazy few years. But we also all have done things we are not proud of, or we are stuck in situations where we are hurt, where we are having so many problems and just having so much trouble. And so we need healing from that. We need to be forgiven for things we've done. We need grace. And obviously, there's nobody better to give that grace than Jesus Christ. But how do we get to Jesus? It is not always as easy as we would like it to be. Of course, you can pray to Him at all times. But to really get to Jesus, sometimes in our situations, we can't do it on our own. And we need friends to take us there. I want to read you a story in Luke 5 about a man who gets to Jesus because of his friends. Starting verse 17, on one of those days as he was teaching, Pharisees and teachers of the law were sitting there, who had come from every village of Galilee and Judea and from Jerusalem. And the power of the Lord was with him to heal. Speaking of Jesus, that is. And behold, some men were bringing on a bed a man who was paralyzed, and they were seeking to bring him in and lay him before Jesus. But finding no way to bring him in, because of the crowd, they went up on the roof and let him down with his bed through the tiles in the midst before Jesus. And when he saw their faith, he said, "Man, your sins are forgiven you." Jesus goes on to heal him just to prove to the Pharisees that it really is him, the Son of God. And I think they know it is, but don't want to believe it because that takes away power from them. But there's another lesson here in this story that I think gets missed. We know that sometimes we need our friends to bring us to Jesus. We know that sometimes we get paralyzed. We're stuck. We can't move. We've been having the same problem for so long that we've become numb to it. And there's nothing we can do to get away from it. And so we need friends to carry us. But if you paid attention to the story, you will know that there is no way for them to get in the house because the crowd is just too large. And when you go through a large crowd carrying somebody who's paralyzed, you are exposed. And the person who's paralyzed is exposed. And everybody is going to know that they're paralyzed. And in case somebody didn't see you, then you climb up on a roof and now you are very exposed in front of everybody. And everybody sees your problem. And everybody sees the people associating with the person who has the problem. You see, here's the lesson here, everybody. Sometimes we must get exposed to get forgiven. Sometimes we must get exposed to be healed. Now, we don't always have to see that as a negative thing. But in general, when you're frozen and paralyzed and you've been stuck in the same problem for a long time, people look down on that. And even so, people look down on the people who hang out with the person who has an issue. And so these friends and this person are risking their reputations, maybe their livelihood, maybe their popularity, maybe their status in that society, to save their friend, to get to Jesus. And sometimes we have to sacrifice our reputation to get to Jesus. Whether that means we're being forgiven or healed or just trying to get to Jesus in general, sometimes we have to put our status and our reputation in society aside. And we have to do things the way Jesus would do that. Which means putting himself out there for everybody to see so that he can help other people. Or, in our case, so we can be helped. It's not easy. But some of us know that's what has to happen in order for us to be healed. And we refuse to do it because it's scary. But as you can see here, no matter how much embarrassment was suffered by this man and his friends trying to get him to Jesus, no matter how awkward they looked, no matter how weird it was for them, obviously this situation ended up being more embarrassing for those who opposed Christ. Because you see, in the short term, it's going to look like you trying to get healed, trying to get to where you need to be in life and going through the muck and the ugly part of it to get to that. At first, it's going to seem like that's the worst thing. But for those who oppose the truth, just as Paul says in 1 Corinthians, the foolish will end up looking foolish. The wise will look foolish. The intelligent will look foolish. Those who are truly foolish underneath, that will come out. And that is what happened to the Pharisees and the lawmakers here that were surrounding Jesus, asking him questions, quizzing him, wondering if he is the true Son of God. And those who believed he was the true Son of God, though they were exposed and embarrassed at first, having to walk through the crowd, carrying their friend on a mattress, lowering him through the roof, doing something unconventional and out of place, and probably considered inappropriate by many there, were the ones who were glorified in the end. The ones who were lifted up, because it says Jesus saw their faith, meaning the friends. And then he healed the man and forgave the man. So take this time to think, is there something you have to put out in the open in order to get to Jesus? Is there something blocking your way to the narrow path on this day in your life that you need to confess, that you need to find friends to take you to Christ? What is paralyzing you today? I just ask you to think about that today. Thanks for watching and have a great day. We'll see you next Monday.